All right, so I'm next to you. I'm not on
Yes.
top of you.
We're live, by the way.
Are we live?
Yes. Wait, hold up. I gotta pull this up over here.
I wish there was a way I could bring you to the side so I can point to you.
Why am
Which
I?
side?
Oh, there we
Which?
go.
Okay, so which side am I on?
You're on my left side.
I'm on your left side.
Yes, you're
So,
on my
you,
left side.
so I need to point this way. Gabe's over here.
Yes. And you're over here, and you guys are watching the fourth check-in for the Positive Outlook podcast. If you guys don't know by now, check-ins are basically where we hop on and we discuss new things that are coming with the podcast, and we do a Q&A as well. So also my lighting's messed up. I thought I had it good.
And this is also our first time doing a live stream of our check-in. So
Yeah.
give us some
Yeah, so we went live just in case anybody wants to,
hop in.
yeah, or like ask a question live. Because that's the point of a live stream, I guess.
True.
There we go.
True.
Oh, too much light.
Hey,
Okay.
too much. A little overexposed, but that's okay.
That's okay. It's all part of the name. Okay.
So how's your week going, Gabe?
My week is going great. It is Wednesday. How's yours going?
It's good. I got midterms. Been crushing them. So
Awesome.
lots,
When?
lots
si-
of fun.
oh, okay, midterms. Yeah. So then you have your finals coming up in what, December?
Yeah.
Are you excited for those?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Good. Good.
What kind of question is that?
Yeah. I hate those. So do we have any updates? So we have a vlog dropping. Um, we have the 200 subscriber giveaway. We
Which
have
we're
that.
now at 319.
Yeah,
So
and that's awesome. So thank all of you guys for that.
hmm
Um, so we are going to be dropping that vlog. I don't think we're going to do it as an episode. There's so much light, man. Come on.
if you can't handle the live, you should have never started.
You're right, man. Um, okay, honestly, that's okay. Um, so we are doing the 200 subscriber vlog. We're dropping that. We're not going to drop it as an episode. It's going to be an independent video. That
hmm
one's going to be awesome. I can't wait for you guys to watch that.
Yeah, we're wrapping filming this weekend, so
Yeah, I had so
that's
much fun recording that
that's
one.
exciting. hmm
Other than that, what do we have coming up? Are we recording with someone?
Yes, we're recording with She Persisted podcast. She's based in Pennsylvania. She's a student. Are my peas cutting?
No, you're good.
Oh, sweet. Um, she's in Pennsylvania studying at Penn State, which is why I asked if my peas were cutting because
Yeah.
there's a lot there. And we're going to be hopping on her podcast just to talk about mental health and success and just get to know other podcasts and have some fun with that. I'm pretty excited. She seems like a great person. Should be pretty fun.
Also, I think these are fun when we do it live
Yeah,
because it's like when we mess
there's
up, people get to see it.
yeah,
Because
true.
usually with the check-ins, they're a little more scuffed because we don't have like the in-person energy. So we're sitting
We'll
there like,
just
what do we
we'll
say
just stop.
next?
We'll be like,
Yeah,
okay, we got to stop and restart and get that
yeah,
energy back up.
yeah. Because if you watch the other check-ins, there's a lot of cuts. There's a lot of cuts in
hmm
between, and it's just us figuring stuff out. But do you want to move into the Q&A?
Let's do it. Let's jump right in. We got
All right,
some good questions today.
we do. So go ahead. You can start with yours.
Okay, so how would you promote positivity to someone who is a very negative person? And shout out to Sky and Kelly for this question. It's a great question. I love this question. So how would you, Gabe?
Oh,
How
you want
would
to
you
talk to me?
promote positivity?
So promoting positivity it's very simple, but it's very complicated, if that makes sense. Um,
100%.
because it's not so much as I tell you this and you understand. It's I tell
Mm-hmm.
you this and you have to feel it. And
Yep.
so it's a matter of attaching your emotion to it, and when the person, once you come up with ideas to spread to this person, they have to practice it. They have to. You can't, practice it and then they reap the benefits. They have to actually believe it and practice it. And like we were just talking about, we can do everything we can to help someone. And I know a lot of people deal with this in their lives, but you try so hard to help somebody, but you can't force them to be happy. And it's the same quote as you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
100%. And this will kind of subtly lead into our next question. Um, but one good way to promote it is talk about the bad place that you were in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people don't care to hear what you have to say if you haven't experienced what they're going through.
Right.
And so if it's easy to look at someone who's already positive and go, okay, well, obviously you haven't had this kind of downfall. You're not in this place that I'm at. But if you explain the place you were in and how you climbed out and how much better life is on the other side, it really shows more perspective.
Yeah.
And then I would give them specific routines if they're in a really bad place. Oh my gosh, did you see the orb?
Yeah, I did.
All right, anyways, I would tell them to do self-affirmations, which much like leading a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink. Self-affirmations will only work if you attach emotion to it.
Yeah.
If you attach something that you can relate, if you attach thoughts to it, otherwise you're just mindlessly saying words out loud and it's absolutely pointless. And then another thing I would do, I just told my sweet mate Ty about this. It's priming. 100% recommend it. It's just like a breathing. You do a breathing exercise. It only takes 10 minutes. You do it every day. And then you think about something like a really early memory that's super happy. And you just remember how you felt at that time. And then you jump right into every single thing that you're grateful for. You list it and you just realize how lucky you are to have those things or people in your life. And then you finish it by choosing three major goals that you have and going through and thinking about all the like long nights, putting that work in, people who told you you couldn't do it, and then how it'll feel once you've accomplished that. And it's really powerful. And right after that, I would recommend a cold shower.
Mm-hmm. I love cold showers. You ever get those where the cold water hits you and you're like, am I still
Mhm.
alive? And you don't know. And then you take a step out of the cold water and you're super lightheaded. And you're like, that
Yep.
was a rush. And then you feel empowered to take on the day.
Dude, yesterday I took a cold shower and I got no sleep and I had so much energy throughout the day. It was crazy. Like it
Yeah.
lasted all day. So just a 5 minute cold shower. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be fun, but you just gotta do it.
Once
And
you
then
once the cold water, like there's that like resistance point where you don't want to
Mhm.
go in. But once you finally get covered in cold water, you're fine.
Exactly. Once you're used to it, it feels good. At first it shocks you, which
Yeah.
needs to happen. That's the whole point of promoting the positivity. But then when you go into that shock and then you're used to it, it's soothing.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds.
Yeah. No, it definitely is.
Which update for everybody, we're on day 10 of the 75 hard. I know this is a sidestep from the Q&A, but it's going really well. So,
Yes. So we're having fun. Pretty exhausted, but we're making it work. And
mhm.
that's all that matters.
All right. So the next question that subtly led into it, how do you find the light when you're in your darkest space? This is something advice that I would share with someone if I was promoting positivity, but let's hear what do you have to say about that?
It is all about perspective. Goat thinking, having gratitude, being optimistic, holding yourself accountable, having tenacity.
Mm-hmm.
It is literally all about knowing your situation you are in. It is your job to get yourself out. Becoming optimistic, knowing that there is a better side, and being grateful for everything you do have. Stop looking at all the things you don't have.
Right.
It's so easy to take that step back and just write down a list of everything that you have in your life that you are thankful for, and that alone will change your entire perspective. But then adding that with optimism and then holding yourself accountable to get out of that situation and then having tenacity to get yourself out. It is just a perfect equation to get yourself out of those dark spots.
Yep. And just know, because you're in your darkest place, first of all, you got to keep in mind you're never too far gone. There's never a point, even though it feels like it sometimes, there's never a single point in time where you're too far gone, where you can never recover.
Yeah.
You can always come back. Always. So keep that in mind. Don't waste time being frustrated that where you're at. Don't waste time
Yeah.
doing that. That's just gonna take up time that you could be improving, and just know that it's gonna be okay. If you start working on yourself now, you're gonna be okay. I
Yeah.
promise you.
It gets
Um,
better. It definitely
hmm
does.
definitely.
So I guess I'll go into my Q&A here.
All right.
Uh, Biggest dream outside of the podcast. What is it, Caleb?
It's always been about the podcast.
I know. Yeah.
I guess it's more of a goal than a dream, but at this point, it's still a dream as I figure out my plan to get there. I want to be a millionaire by 30. and I want to be able to repay as much as possible to my parents for all their sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I guess I want to fly. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
What,
So
what about you?
do you wanna let the viewers in on what you're able to do next week?
Oh yeah, so I've been having a tough decision deciding whether I for sure want to pursue aviation or totally change career paths. Real estate's always had my interest, and Gabe's a realtor, so like that's kind of a good in with the real estate world.
I just wanted to clarify. I've had no influence on his process here. Okay, I just exist. That's
And
all.
and so there's also a lot of financial stress that comes with aviation. And so I decided if I could just get in a plane, get in one of these planes and fly, I would be able to decide pretty quickly if that's something that's tangible that I want, or if it's something that makes me sick and not a very realistic job. And so I talked to one of my friends who's in aviation and he's currently flying. I'm just doing my general credits or ed right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he could take me up next week. So next week I'm going to be flying and I'm so excited. Should be a lot of fun. So,
Heck yeah. So I guess I'll go into my biggest goal outside of the podcast is just to be a public speaker or an author. Something where I can spread word to others about positivity. And so I guess if it's not in the podcast, it's gonna be through a book or it's gonna be
hmm
through an actual meeting of people like a seminar or something. So that is my goal, is just to spread positivity.
That's awesome.
And how are you actively chasing it?
Oh, I might have already kind of answered that
Yeah,
question.
yeah, I think I did as well by mentioning the podcast. So how am I actively chasing my goal to spread positivity is to be on the podcast.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
what is your de-stressor, Caleb?
Working out
Yeah,
100%. I could not have gotten through the last couple of weeks if I didn't. First of all, having a workout partner when you work out helps a lot.
definitely does.
It's someone you can talk to, even if it's just about working out. It takes your mind off of it. It's really healthy for you, obviously. And then all the things I listed that I would tell other people to do, those are all like the best de-stressors I have.
Yeah, kind of priming. Working out, I think, is mine. It's either that or reading a good book.
That's a
And
good one.
and so then we'll translate into the next Q&A. What is your favorite book? Doesn't have to be a self-help book. It could be a fiction novel. It could be anything.
Well, both of them are self-help books.
Okay.
Everyday Millionaire by Chris Hogan and Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. At least currently, those are my two favorite books right now.
Heck yeah. Mine is The Compound Effect, Darren Hardy. It's a book about perspective. It is 100% about perspective, and I love that book because it just makes you think in everything you do. Every little
hmm
thing you do throughout your day, it makes you just get a different perspective on, and it's incredible.
That's awesome. Yeah, Everyday Millionaire is like the first book that like opened my eyes to possibility.
Hmm.
It's a very realistic book because Chris Hogan's big friends with Dave Ramsey, who's a very down to earth, save budget,
Hmm.
very like hardcore guy, and he's got some good stuff. But the book basically just shows how possible it is to be a millionaire, and it goes through like all the myths that people think is around like the stigmatism of having money. They think that like, well, if you're in that family, you just have that money. If you're not in a family with money, you don't get money.
Hmm.
And so it just shows a bunch of like reports and statistics. It talks about people's stories and them going from nothing to millionaire. And that was one of the first books that like truly inspired me to like achieve more, I guess. So
Awesome. Yeah. Heck yeah. Do you have another Q&A? Those are all mine.
that's pretty much all I got here. Let me double check, but I think that's most of them. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, do you have anything you want to say to the podcast before we get out of here?
I can't wait to record our Halloween episode. I'm not gonna
Yes.
say anything, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
Yeah.
more of a lighter tone, I guess.
Yeah. It's just gonna be a fun little time. So.
And we've met some amazing people, but when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, nothing. Okay, I can't say that because that sounds like I'm like downgrading our guests. But not a lot beats just being able to record with Gabe. that's like how it started. That's
Yeah.
how, everything's progressed. Whenever we do that, we also meet up and make plans for expanding, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's been what, couple weeks now since Caleb and I have been able to sit down. I think since the beginning of October, we've had guests. Um,
except for the stress
oh
episode.
yeah. So we haven't really had a chance to sit down and have like, the charisma and the energy that we have when we're together. So I am excited for that. And it's going to be a fun episode because it's Halloween. So,
Right.
all right. Well, I have nothing else to say. I don't know if you do.
Um, High pressure live stream, so like you gotta
Yeah,
just get it all out.
that was a lot of fun. I think we can do live streams from here on out. For the check-ins,
hmm
it's kind of just one of those things that people can jump in
And and thank you, because Tuesdays are like my busiest days. So like instead we can do Wednesdays, which is my like one of my least busy days.
yeah,
So I have more time to be able to like jump in and do a live stream. So
yeah, definitely. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We
uh,
appreciate it.
if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 500 by New Year's Eve. It's a
Hmm.
big goal that we have, and stick around. We got a lot of content coming all around across all platforms.
Yeah,
Oh, that's one more thing that I needed to tell everybody. So the next 2 weeks we're scheduled. We have episode 4 coming to Spotify. I think it's either this Thursday. I think it's this Thursday. So we're dropping an episode this Thursday, and then from here on out, it'll be 2 episodes a week. We're not committed to Thursdays because we do say Happy Monday in every single one.
yeah,
But just be ready for more content on Spotify. We've actually gotten quite a few listeners, so that's kind of cool. Hope you guys enjoy it, and that's about all I have to say.
yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.